with a 61-34 lead here at halftime. They've been winning in this Tournament of the Americas by an average of 56 points per game. In case you missed any of the highlights or would just simply like to see them again, let's look back on the Tournament of the Americas. Festivities got underway last Saturday as Magic Johnson led the USA Dream Team onto the floor for the first time for opening ceremonies. All 8 countries competing in the Tournament of Americas were introduced before a sellout crowd at Memorial Coliseum. The hoop action began with the United States women's Olympic basketball team taking on the Brazilians in an exhibition match. 6 players scored in double figures as the USA rolled to an easy 103-75 win over the defending Pan Am champions. The Brazilian men's team stormed through Group B qualifying into the semifinals with a 4-0 record, looking to meet Team USA in Sunday's final. The legendary Oscar Schmidt is averaging over 31 points per game. Coach Chuck Daly and the Dream Team made their long-anticipated debut against Cuba. Charles Barkley scored 22 points, leading 7 players in double figures on the way to a 79-point triumph. Hometown hero Clyde Drexler punctuated the outcome to the delight of the sold-out Coliseum crowd. Guard John Stockton was lost with a leg injury in Game 2 versus Canada, but Magic Johnson brought showtime to Portland as Team USA rolled over the Canadians by 44 points. Defense was the key in Game 3 against Panama as the U.S. had a whopping 16 steals. Chris Mullin came off the bench to hit 4 of 5 three-pointers on the way to a game-high 19 points, and the Dream Team was victorious again. Argentina became victim number 4 in a show of speed and power as Team USA shot 63% from the field. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen combined in the most spectacular play of the tournament as the USA won by 41 to finish 4-0 in Pool A play. Team USA leading 61-34 over Puerto Rico at halftime here at Portland Memorial Coliseum. We'll be back to look at the highlights of the first half right after this. Today's halftime highlights brought to you by Phillips Lighting. Let's have a look at some of the highlights in the first half. Here's the defensive pressure.
Well, Magic Johnson switched over to Jerome Mincy, and Michael Jordan took the point guard. It paid off as the United States was able to get out on the break. You see Michael Jordan with 2 of his 4 points here in the transition, 19 points off turnovers for the United States. And Scottie Pippen, a great first half, 7 rebounds, 5 points, and 6 assists. With Drexler over to Karl Malone, who also had a big first half, 16 points for Karl Malone.
See the shooting percentage, 32% for Puerto Rico, 65 for the United States. But the rebounds, the fast breaks, the points off turnovers, Doug said the keys to the game. If Puerto Rico were to keep this competitive, those the second, third, and fourth categories there need to be a whole lot better than they are.
Well, you see what happens with turnovers. You get easy scores, 13 out of 19. 19 points off turnovers to 5. You got the double in the rebounding. But the thing that impresses me is 19 assists on 24 field goals with only 7 turnovers. That lets you know how they're moving the basketball and making the extra pass to get the easy layup.
Scoring leaders for Puerto Rico, Ortiz, who you see in your picture right there, has 12 points. Carter 5, and Casiano came off the bench. He's only 19 years old, the youngest player on this Puerto Rican team to score and play reasonably well in the last 5 minutes of the first half. Malone was 16, Mullin 12, and Magic Johnson has 7 to go with 4 assists.
This is the lineup now that we saw the other night to start the second half. Although it wasn't Charles Barkley, it was Scottie Pippen, but Ewing and Robinson in the lineup together, and the United States went to a half-court trap with 2 shot blockers, Magic, Michael, and it'll be Barkley this time chasing the ball. Let's see if they come out. And this is strictly just to work on. It's not to rub it in to the Puerto Rican team at all, but they've got to work on certain phases of the game they might need over in Barcelona. The half-court trap is one of them, with the 2 big players, Robinson and Ewing, playing at the same time.
Barkley, you'll see with a Band-Aid, did take 1 stitch. He did, in fact, hit his head on the edge of a camera and has returned to the game. Michael Jordan misses the 3. Barkley steals the rebound. Magic Johnson has his 9th point of the night.
When you play zone, that's not supposed to happen. You're not allowed. You're not supposed to split both defenders out front. Magic, though, with his size, just goes right through the lane. Gets the easy score. The United States is in man-to-man defense right now. That was a horrible shot by Edgar Leon. I think he's trying to get on the scoreboard here, realizing the game is on national television.
Ewing with the rebound off the Jordan miss. Number 6, Gauss. Number 13 is Edgar Leon. Number 11 is Ramon Rivas for Puerto Rico. Handling the ball now, number 10, Javier Colon. This is Gauss. Barkley with the personal. And the Band-Aid.
First personal, first team foul, half on USA.
Colon inbounds the ball, 30-second shot clock in international play. Rivas alone for a moment. And the bank shot by Edgar Leon, who has 5 points. 29-point USA lead. Ewing missing. Rebound Leon. Jordan, by the way, has only 4 points in this game.
Michael only took 4 shots in the first half. Took a 3 here to start the second half. Not looking for his offense. Very reminiscent of game 1 against Cuba, where he looked to take only 6 shots in the game.
Gauss, usually a good 3-point shooter, missed that one from 3-point range. And Michael Jordan with a scoop shot. Now he has 6. Brazil will play Venezuela in the other semifinal game tonight following this one. The winner of that will play the USA on Sunday for this tournament championship. But all 4 of these teams in action tonight have advanced to Barcelona and the Olympics.
Ramon Rivas just got away with a forearm shiver against David Robinson.
Good pass, dog. Come back, somebody.
Michael, you look at Michael Jordan here. Magic Johnson just said, good pass, Doug, as the ball came over here to our table.
Always in the game, isn't he?
If Magic would have shot, you'd have had an assist from the table.
That might maybe being a first scorer's table assist.
Robertson with the jam. David Robinson. Magic talking now to Javier Colon, who's only 6 feet tall. You see how Magic Johnson dwarfs over him. Barkley with the steal. Ewing, one touch. Johnson to Robinson.
Now, let's think about that. Barkley with a steal to to Magic at 6'9", to Ewing at 7 feet, back to David Robinson at 7'1". The ball never touched the floor for the dunk. That was beautiful.
Barkley with his second foul quickly.
Now, Barkley's going to get the steal, and he's going to throw the ball ahead. You see Barkley to Magic. Watch this now. To Ewing to Magic to Robinson. The ball did not touch the floor. That's the way you draw it up. When you're drawing it on the chalkboard, Chuck Daly says, this way we want to run the break. And they said, okay, coach.
Patrick Ewing with the rebound. Wanted the outlet to Magic Johnson, but
3 outlets to David Robinson.
Interchangeable parts. Magic posting against Rivas. Goes to the baby hook. Oh, remember that against the Celtics.
Oh, yes.
Patrick Ewing with the foul.
Oh, Patrick would like to have that foul back. He's gotten in foul trouble tonight. He had 2 quick fouls against Rivas and had to sit down, and now the reach-in foul, so that's 3 on Patrick Ewing. I don't think Chuck Daly's going to panic and make a substitution. He'll probably let Patrick play a few more minutes.
Chuck told you in an interview before the game that his scouts over in Europe think that Lithuania, Croatia, Germany, independent states, the former Soviet Union, could give some pretty good test to the team when they get to the Olympics.
I think that you look at the Lithuanian team with Marciulionis, Sabonis, some of the players they have. They're a team that will not be in awe of the United States because they played against them already before, and I think that's important. I think these teams are just happy to play against the United States. Magic Johnson with another easy layup.
Magic with 11 points in this game. He's in great shape.
These teams coming into the tournament in Americas, and they want their pictures taken with these guys. And I think the United States is going to see when they get to Barcelona, some of these teams are not going to be in quite as much awe.
Ewing saved it, but to Mency, who gets it ahead to Colon. Colon's first basket of the night. 73-39, 15:47 to go in this game from Portland Memorial Coliseum. More in and out game here. Patrick Ewing, who has that shot, just in case you wondered.
Well, we saw a lot of that in the playoffs against the Chicago Bulls. When he stepped out and was hitting that shot, he was virtually impossible to stop. And now he's going to have Rolando Blackman to go with him, a guard who can score, and Hubert Davis, a rookie who can really shoot the ball. So the Knicks will be able to help on the double teams when go inside to Patrick Ewing next year. Edgar Leon is trying to match him basket for basket. That was the old Wilt Chamberlain 1-foot fadeaway.
David Robinson with the quick footwork. He got the loose ball for the jam, kept alive by Michael Jordan.
Remember, Wilt used to have that step-back shot that he tried to bank.
Tried was the key word there. 77-39. 38-point lead, largest of the game.
Boy, Gauss is just saying, please, Michael Jordan, get off of me and let me get a shot up here. These people are watching on TV. I want to score. Michael is ruthless, though. He's not going to give him anything.
And doesn't there. He does commit the foul. 38-point lead with 14:30 remaining in this game.
That's his second. 14 foul. Timeout.
Well, everybody except Christian Laettner, Larry Bird, and John Stockton have scored for the USA with this 38-point lead, 77-39, 14.5 to go in the ball game. And now the senior executive vice president of the Phoenix Suns. I liked it better when I got to call you coach. Cotton Fitzsimmons has joined us. Cotton, your impressions of looking at this quality of basketball?
Well, the only reason those other guys haven't scored, they haven't taken a shot yet, because they're just too good. I don't think we'll ever see a team like this again. I hope not. I hope that we can split it up and let some of the young guys in the country play.
I agree with you.
Because it's too difficult, you know, for a guy to have hopes and aspirations someday to be on the Olympic team, and he has to be a total all-star in the NBA to make it. That's too tough.
Now, Cotton, here you are walking in after fleecing Portland of Danny Ainge. You got Charles Barkley here. You can't be very popular sitting here right now, can you? I mean, have anybody said anything to you yet?
Yeah, they've said a few things. They really have. I'm not too popular here right now.
How about coaching him?
Well, Charles would be great to coach. You know, a lot of times people thought he's difficult to coach. Charles just wants to win. I think the Ainge thing says that, because when Charles came to town for a press conference, he told Jerry Colangelo, if you need to use any of my money to go out and get somebody, you can use it. Tom Chambers jumped right in, did the same thing. We do have Danny Ainge now, and I think we've improved our club.
Well, is the signing of Rod Strickland a knee-jerk reaction from Portland over the Danny Ainge thing, Cotton?
I don't know. I was surprised by it, because unless they plan to just play Porter and Strickland and Clyde all the time, I see Strickland really as a point guard. I don't see him as a scoring guard.
Yeah, and also I think the one thing, maybe they feel Porter being a guy that can slide over and shoot the ball a little bit, but they're definitely going to miss what Danny Ainge gave him in the long-range shooting department.
Nobody wanted to take the shot. Mincy with the drive, handed it to Rivas, and Rivas with about 3 fakes before he drew the foul.
Would you want to take the shot with David Robinson and guys like that around you? And if you get away from David, there's Patrick Ewing waiting. I don't want to take the shot either.
They want to have their photo taken.
Yeah, they really do. That's been the interesting thing about all of these games. They're more interested in getting the jersey of the player that they guarded than really worrying about winning the games, because they know they can't win the games.
What is your thought, Cotton, on a player like Rivas, Ortiz, in this kind of tournament and in the Olympics? Can these players, are they capable of getting back in the NBA? Are they marginal? What is your thinking?
They're very marginal. I think they would always be 10, 11th, 12th man, and they're probably better off playing where they are right now. Probably make more of a steady living, because they might get cut after 1 year.
Barkley, Robinson, Ewing, Magic, Johnson, and Jordan on the floor. Barkley inside.
Oh, you see Cotton smiles. There's my guy right there.
I ought to frown a little bit, because really, maybe I gave it up a little early, Doug, because when you get Charles on your team and Danny Ainge, we think the Phoenix Suns are going to be a real tough ball club next year. Portland's been whipping us out here. We need to beat the Portland Trailblazers to get to the finals and get a crack at those Bulls.
What do you think about the Twin Towers, Robinson, Ewing playing at the same time?
They're extremely tough. I was really impressed the way they came out and started the third quarter. Certainly very intimidating.
Like that?
Well, that answers the question, you know, offensively around the basket, they go so strong to the hoop. And when they have these other guys that Michael Jordan, along with Magic Johnson, that want to feed them, it makes it easy.
You know, Cotton, the interesting thing, too, is the speed and quickness of our bigger players. You know, Puerto Rico's got power, but they can't get back defensively. Our big guys just outrun them down the floor, as you saw Ewing do the last time. Now, here comes David Robinson. He's going to be the recipient this time.
Ortiz with the rebound off the Magic Johnson miss. Magic's quick. He hasn't lost quickness.
Well, I'm surprised about the intensity. You know, Chuck Daly and his staff have been able to keep the guys focused in, even though the games are runaways. They keep playing hard, and they stay right on their job.
You know, Cotton, the one thing I've been impressed with also, too, obviously the unselfishness. A great play by Magic. But, you know, in many instances, when you get a group of guys like this together, and you've seen it in all-star games, guys try to make so many spectacular plays that the game gets sloppy. I have not seen that. The turnovers have been limited, and they've made really the simple play.
Well, you know, and that's one of the real keys. Look at Magic going in there. I mean, it's unbelievable, this guy. He just, you know, plays in an all-star game, and now he plays on the Olympic team, walks out there. We said all along he was special, and he certainly is special.
14 points, 6 assists for Magic Johnson tonight in limited time.
You know, I think really the coaching staff so far should receive a lot of credit for these guys not really trying to show time all the time. They're trying to play the game.
And again, you know, they're making the simple play, and they're so great, and their opponents are so inferior. Sometimes you want to do a little bit too much, and the game gets really ugly. That has not happened here. They've maintained their concentration. And again, I think the way Chuck and his staff have approached it, Cotton, is he's given this guys time off and allowed them to enjoy themselves, knowing that they're going to compete when they get to the game.
Yeah, it sounds that way, and it sounds like that their golf score, some of them, is getting a lot better, you know.
They're going to be in your category here soon.
Well, no, they can beat me. Matter of fact...
there is no one can beat you because you always negotiate on the first tee so well, you don't let that happen.
Well, you're right.
I've heard about you already all the way to Chicago.
There's one guy better, Michael Jordan. He can negotiate pretty good himself.
84-48, Team USA, 12:15 to go in this ball game. 12,888 sellout here at the Memorial Coliseum. Jordan misses from the corner. Barkley keeps it alive. Who says he liked being traded? Look at about in the back. Oh, Michael Jordan said he liked being traded to Phoenix so he could play golf every day.
Well, he's got a guy who can play with him. I don't do anything, so he can play with me.
How about that play? We've just seen so many highlights. Here's Gauss as their good perimeter shooter.
Well, he's finally got Michael Jordan off. I mean, Michael Jordan was driving him nuts. Now he's finally getting some open shots.
Magic Johnson misses, taking it back in the hoop. There's the baby hook. Oh, thank you for showing us that again.
Well, Kareem taught him that a long time ago when he was a rookie, and he's got it down pat. Probably the best hook shooter in basketball.
88-50, 11:20 to go in the game.
Cotton, how tempting is it going to be for Magic to want to play next year after playing this well this summer?
It's going to be very interesting. I think Magic's the only guy who knows what his health happens to be.
This could be a 4-point opportunity.
Look at my man Charles Barkley here. Going to keep control of the basketball. Looks around. In Philadelphia, he'd take a shot right now, Doug. Right now, look at him. He's become an assist man over to Michael Jordan, and who better to throw it to than Michael Jordan?
Well, Senior Executive Vice President Cotton Fitzsimmons, as you look at your guy there, thanks for joining us here at the table. It's great having you with us.
It's been my pleasure, but did you notice that Doug didn't let me in too close? Doug doesn't want me to do games.
That's right. I don't want you to take my job. That's right. Get out of here.
Guys are high. He posts up at the scorer's table.
Thanks for having me.
Cotton Fitzsimmons has joined us at the booth. We'll be back in just a moment to Portland Memorial Coliseum. Magic Johnson and Karl Malone have combined for 16 each to lead the U.S. scores. U.S. leading by 35 points with 11:13 remaining in the ball game. Here's that beautiful baby hook. Robert Parrish, Kevin McHale, Larry Bird were all in the lane in that game when Magic flashed across the paint.
And that was the game-winning shot also, the pressure of that to make that over those three players.
James Carter back in from Puerto Rico. This is Ramon Rivas spinning inside. It'll fall, and he draws the foul.
Well, that was a very powerful move by Rivas there along the baseline. Nice spinning drive.
On David Robinson is third.
Not only does he make the move against David Robinson, but watch Patrick Ewing comes over to try to disrupt this shot. So that's a very difficult shot off the glass. Excellent concentration to get the finish by Rivas. I think he's played pretty well in the Tournament of the Americas. He's rebounded well, and he's showed much better offensive skills than I ever remember him having, either at Temple or with the Boston Celtics, although with Boston we did not see much of him with Mikhail Bird and Parrish.
As Tim Hardaway would say, Rivas has got skill. Barkley to Ewing. Almost traveled. There's that famous turnaround baseline jumper.
You know, it's funny you say almost traveled. Does that mean he traveled and it wasn't called? I always wondered that.
Almost traveled.
Does that?
He thought about traveling.
Okay.
That's what. There's Soto's number 15, who just threw the ball away and committed the foul, getting his first action. He's played very little for Puerto Rico in the tournament.
See what Charles does very well. He's done that twice now in this half. The guy has tried to make the entry pass into the post. He's dropped back and stolen the pass. So what happens when you drop back off the man like that, Bob? You must, as a player, offensive player, you've got to drive the ball and force the guy to come play it. Then you get a passing lane. Charles is just dropping way back into the lane and picking off that pass.
90-55, 10-16 to go in the game. Carter trying to defense Jordan. Punched away by Ortiz. Michael was definitely going to put it up. Never a question. He'll go to the line.
Number 9,
Michael Jordan having a quiet night, only 8 points.
shooting 2 for USA.
This is really a relief for Michael Jordan to not have to carry the weight of the world on his shoulders. He's commented on it several times, the fact that he really enjoys the fact that everybody here can score and he can simply be part of the team, even though he's unquestionably the greatest player in the world today. Here are the scoring leaders from the tournament.
Oscar Schmidt, people probably will get a chance to see him Sunday in the gold medal game if things hold the way we think they will, and Oscar is a tremendous shooter. He is the Chris Mullen of the Brazilian team.
Lopez to Carter for 3. James Carter, formerly of the USBL and the CBA.
So Michael Jordan now has moved to point guard. Magic Johnson playing forward, going a little high screen roll. Let Michael just turn the corner.
Foul on Puerto Rico. Wave that basket off. It's on Lopez. Federico Lopez.
This is an offensive set you see the Pistons run a lot of with their guards. Spot up a three-point shooter in the corner. You have Magic in one corner. Michael playing screen roll.
Out ahead to Carter. Look who ran it down. The center. David Robinson's unbelievable speed. We've seen some telestrator plays that you've done during the regular season where he will start behind the break and then end up scoring all the way. And we're about to get wholesale substitutions for the United States. They're going to substitute 5 players at the same time. Foul is on Patrick Ewing. We're going to get Drexler, Mullen, Pippen, Leitner, and Malone into the game.
That's your second team for tonight.
And the lineup for USA, Christian Leitner, Carl Malone, Chris Mullen, Scottie Pippen, Clyde Drexler.
This crowd very appreciative that Clyde Drexler played tonight. He missed the game Wednesday as they drained fluid from his sore knee.
Well, if that's going to be a concern for Clyde Drexler. This season he's had problems draining that knee, and now in the Tournament of Americas he's had it done again. A long wear and tear of another season trying to get Portland back to the NBA Finals, and we know that he definitely is the guy that's going to have to carry them there once again if they're going to beat teams like Phoenix now. But that knee must be a little bit of source of concern for them, because once you have to start having that drained, it'll be a chronic problem.
Malone into Pippen on the give and go, and Leitner with a beautiful move. He switched hands when he was blocked on the right side and reversed it, and that's the first 2 of the game for Christian Leitner. Now every player who's eligible to play, that's except for Bird and Stockton, have scored for Team USA. Carter doesn't get it to go. Puerto Rico ball.
Right now, the team that the United States has on the floor, Pippen and Drexler, are going to have to come back and help on the board. Chris Mullin, not a strong rebounder. Karl Malone can defensive rebound. He likes in many instances to get out and run the break. And Leitner learning how to rebound against this kind of competition. So the United States is going to have to make a commitment now to get to the defensive board against the big, strong Puerto Rican lineup.
I was going to say some players on the floor who can really run the floor, but every player on this team can, so it goes without saying. Rivas tried the spin move against Malone, but he stopped it to Ortiz. Kept alive by Soto. It's just a nightmare once you get down into the paint.
Well, it's almost like they're playing 6 against 5. Wherever you go, there's 2 guys defending. Oh, no, the game is too far out of reach for this guy to dive in my lap. I could understand it if it was a 2-point game.
Doug Collins meet Federico Lopez.
Yes, Federico. Too old to make that move to get out of your way.
94-60, 34-point U.S. lead, 8 minutes to go in the game. Malone just pulls up for the jumper, which he'll hit most of the time. Here's Carter to Soto with the jam. Soto's a 24-year-old, 6'7" forward. He's one of the young guard. This is an aging Puerto Rico team in international play. They're trying to get it younger. They have a couple of young players like him and like Cassiano. Drexler over Lopez. 2 3-pointers for Drexler, 2 for Mullin, 1 for Johnson. Magic in this game. Now Leitner playing Ortiz very well.
Yeah, did a good job that time. He did not allow the contact to knock him on his heels. He stayed up strong, then got a hand up in the face, did not take the foul. Very good play by Leitner.
Lopez fouls Clyde Drexler.
On number 5, Federico Lopez, his 3rd personal, 15 foul, timeout.
Here's our Converse game summary for you. U.S. has 13-2 on steals, 32-4 on fast breaks, 46-22 on the bench. And you could summarize the game in several other categories, too. But that'll give you a little idea of the tremendous defense and speed and balance of this team from the United States. And here is the only collegian on the team, Christian Leitner, scoring. Prior to tonight's game, Doug asked Christian if playing on the Dream Team would hasten his development in the NBA. And he said, in fact, he thought it would, because he said not only at Minnesota but around the league, because let's face it, I have seen the best they have to offer.
Yeah, he said, I played against the best there is. He said, I think it will help me. See, there's another reach in by Christian. That's an area, though, and I've talked about it, that he's going to have to do. He's going to have to get much better at.
6:51 to go in this ball game. 97-62, Team USA.
You're going to be playing against bigger guys that can move and drive the ball to the basket. You've got to slide, square them up, and you can't reach in. Those reach fouls are the ones that get you in trouble. Put the team to the free throw line. As you see, Jose Ortiz will shoot the 1-and-1. Jose has had a pretty good ball game tonight. It's only 4 for 12, but he's got 14 points and 4 rebounds.
John, I need some help.
The 19-year-old Cassiano is in the backcourt with Lopez. For Puerto Rico, there is Jose Ortiz, who's Pac-10 MVP. He's 28 years old, 6'10", 235. Drafted by the Utah Jazz. And to Leitner. Power move inside and the foul.
I think Christian either got kicked or maybe rolled his ankle a little bit also. Going to have the opportunity for the 3-point play. That was a nice entry pass, and Christian went strong to the basket. I liked it here because he didn't mess around with the ball. He just went up strong. I thought early in the tournament he was a little unsure around the basket. He was pump faking and not finishing the shot. That time a nice power move by Christian Leitner, who does not get the 3-point play as he missed the free throw opportunity.
Chuck Daly said Christian Leitner reminded him some of Bill Laimbeer. He says he's got that meanness in him that a post player needs to have, and Laimbeer, while he's had a great career, never, particularly late in his career, has not shown the post-up strength that Leitner has, actually.
And I think also, too, what Chuck was referring to was Lambier was the kind of guy that would go on the road and deflect pressure by being the villain. And Christian really did that at Duke this year. The many road games that they played in the tough arenas, he would be the target of a lot of ridicule, and he accepted it and hit big shots. And really, I thought, helped his team in that way. They knew they could go to him in that kind of environment.
Ramon Dalmau, the head coach, Puerto Rico. Malone with the rebound off the Ortiz miss. 99-64. 6:22 to go in the ball game. Pippen passed inside to Drexler for the reverse.
Just another unselfish play. Scottie Pippen had the wide open shot, made the extra pass. We say it over and over and over again, but that really characterizes this United States team. Unselfish, make the extra pass, get the easy score.
Soto gets the ball in the post, and every time he does, it's raked away from him. They're going to try it again if they get the entry pass unsuccessfully this time. Here's the 19-year-old. A lot of skill.
Well, he's fearless, too. He takes the ball right to the basket.
The left-hander scores from the baseline. And the foul is on Team USA, away from the ball.
USA foul.
Take a look now. Chris Mullen makes the quick reversal pass to Scottie Pippen. Looks like he's going to take the open shot. And here comes Drexler with a slash cut. Finds him underneath for the easy reverse layup.
8 assists for Pippen in the ballgame. And Scottie said that his role here on this team, the way he sees it, is to see the floor, run the team, and distribute the ball.
And now with John Stockton out of the game, he's actually the backup point guard, both he and Michael. So Scottie is one of the better all-round players on this team, because he realizes that he doesn't need to score, but he plays the great defense, the long arms.
There's Soto scoring.
Just as I say that, Scottie throws the ball out of bounds.
101-68. USA. Larry Bird will not play in this game. There's a chance that he'll play on Sunday, but because of his sore lower back, he doesn't even know about that for sure. This could be the last time we'll see Larry Bird on TNT.
If we see John Stockton next time we go to the bench also, on his right leg, you'll see he has an electric stimulator, which what is done, it's shocking the area to try to prevent or try to make the healing process faster.
Pippen from Drexler.
See Scottie up defending.
Cassiano missed the three.
Nice rebound by Leitner. That's what I like to see from Christian Leitner. That's what they're going to need from him in Minnesota, the big power rebounds.
Mullen gets it off to Drexler, who is fouled. Yeah, we've watched a lot of great basketball. Listen to this one.
Shooting for USA.
Well, Portland saw too much of that in the NBA playoffs here. I'm surprised they're cheering for Scottie Pippen.
Here's what you're talking about Stockton there on his right leg.
Yeah, I asked him about that, and he said it's just a constant electrical stimulation through his leg there onto the bone to hopefully that will speed up the healing process. I think John feels he's going to be able to play in Barcelona. It's not an injury that is going to get any worse, but it is painful, and if he can play with the pain, then he'll be there.
Jerry Sloan says he'll be there, knowing how he plays with the pain. There's Cassiano, the 19-year-old, driving and laying it in. I like his moves. He's a smooth player.
The thing I like about what Jerry Sloan said the other night when we were talking to him, he said he realizes how important this is to John Stockton. He would never in his wildest dreams try to discourage John Stockton from going to Barcelona.
Leitner spins down to the lane, goes to the left hand for the finger roll. Oh, you like the looks. How about the difference in Leitner's play, even in this tournament?
Well, he's growing up. He's not in awe anymore of these guys. He's starting to feel a part of this team. And I think that's very important. They've done a good job of making Christian feel a part of it. They look for him. They try to get him involved.
They jerked his warm-up trousers down when he was introduced.
See, Christian would not have taken that shot the other day. He pulls up and takes the three, but he would not have looked for that shot the other night. And as you said, he is the victim of some practical jokes, but he understands that's part of being a rookie, and how he reacts to it is very important. It'll let him know whether he's going to be in the fraternity or not.
He doused the whole bench with his squirt gun. Speaking of fraternity, that was Peyote with the miss. Pippen The bounce pass to Drexler.
Pippen knows who to feed here in Portland. They're going to start clamoring for a trade if they keep looking at this. I'm sure Portland would love to have Scottie Pippen.
108-70. 3:16 to go in this game. Pippen, 7 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists. Soto with a nice bounce pass. There's an example of the international rule. If you lob the ball in, you can catch it and then bank it in like that. You can't slam dunk it if it's lobbed in above the rim. Pippen fouled on the run. Here's Pippen to Drexler.
Win in Portland, get it to the Blazers. That's exactly what Scottie Pippen does. And Clyde Drexler with a beautiful finger roll.
2:55 remaining in this semifinal game. USA 108, Puerto Rico 72 in the semifinals. All 4 of the teams are playing tonight have advanced to Barcelona. Brazil and Venezuela joining these 2 teams. And by the way, speaking of Puerto Rico, as you look at the Puerto Rican flag, and Portland, Ramon Ramos, who is a former Portland Trailblazer, a rookie center who was seriously injured in an automobile accident a year and a half ago, is living with his parents in their home in Canovanas, Puerto Rico. Probably watching tonight. There's his coach, Seton Hall, PJ Carlesimo, and we might report to you that Ramos is much improved. He's walking on his own, riding a bike, lifting weights, even shooting the basketball some. Still has some problems with his conversational ability, but improving gradually in that area as well, and we wish him the best, and I know PJ would like us to pass that along.
In this tournament, Bob, the United States have been shooting 63%, their opponents 37%. Tonight, the United States shooting 63%, their opponents 37%. So I guess average game for the United States tonight for both them and their opponents.
Just an average game. Another walk in the park.
I wonder what it feels like to sit over and win every game by 40 points.
2:51 remaining in this game. The U.S. will play the winner of Brazil, Venezuela in the championship for this. There are medals involved in the Tournament of the Americas, the gold, silver, and bronze, but it will not affect the seeding in the Olympics. Olympic 12 teams will be divided into 2 16 pools, much like the teams were divided in this tournament. Drexler putting on a show for the home crowd. He has 15.
You know, Bob, while we get a chance also we want to send our best wishes and thoughts and prayer to Jim Valvano. There's a lot of friends here in Portland. We've talked to the United States team, Coach K, PJ. They all ask us to pass it along, and we just wish him well in this tough time, and our thoughts and prayers are with them.
Javier Colon and James Carter, the guards for Puerto Rico, outmatched everywhere. We thought the Puerto Rican team would do a little bit better rebounding because they are big with Ortiz and Edgar Leon and Ramon Rivas down there. But even the rebounding is 45-26 USA favorite. That was Soto scoring for Puerto Rico. If there's anything to it, this is the closest game this late that the U.S. has been involved in. Now it's time for our Miller Genuine Draft play of the game. We'll find out what this is together. There are so many.
Well, let me guess. It's the Charles Barkley steal and the throw ahead to Patrick Ewing to Magic Johnson, back to David Robinson. The ball never hits the floor. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, never hits the floor. And that sort of signifies the greatness of this team.
Sir Charles Barkley, now of the Phoenix Suns. Cotton Fitzsimmons said if Charles wanted to play golf every day, Cotton was available. Now that he's no longer the coach, Paul Westphal might have something to say about that. Charles, you saw the Band-Aid on his head. In case you dialed in late here, Charles Barkley fell on the baseline, cut his head on the edge of a camera. Took 1 stitch. They bandaged him up, and he did return to the game. 113-76. TNT began basketball coverage back in October with Magic Johnson and the Lakers in Paris, France. We're concluding our season of NBA coverage, this Tournament of the Americas, with this NBA All-Star team to play on the Olympic team here in July. And Karl Malone has 20. So we had Magic in October. He retired in the middle, got Magic again here in July. And it's been a tremendous season on behalf of all the TNT family. We thank everybody in the NBA has helped us with our coverage of nearly 90 games, if you count these tournament games and NBA playoffs and such. We'll be back at you again with the NBA next year starting in November.
Yeah, I'm lobbying for you to go to Japan, that 13-hour flight, and open up the season with Houston and Seattle. I'd love to watch you on TNT back here.
Konnichiwa. How about, I'm practicing my language. Seattle and Houston will be over there. As the international aspect of this NBA, as you see just by the demonstration of the Dream Team here, is certainly proving to be a reality in the dream of David Stern. 119 to 78. 15 seconds to go in this ball game. That's a three-point shot from Cologne.
So another difference in the NBA game is the clock can wind out with you throwing the ball in bounds. So under 5 seconds, the clock, you can just hold it out of bounds. United States with a 38-point victory.
Well, that's the closest one so far. And now the winner of Brazil-Venezuela will go on to meet the United States in the championship game in this tournament. I want to point out to you once again that 4 teams advanced from this tournament of the Americas to the Olympics, and it did not matter whether you won or finished 4th here in terms of advancing. So the semifinal and the championship game are for a medal here, but are not for any seeding in the Olympics. In the Olympics, there have been 4 teams that were already announced, and that was Spain, Angola, Australia, and China, who won their zones, and Spain, the host country. And, of course, we also have the 4 teams from here, the United States, Brazil, Puerto Rico, and Venezuela, and they'll be joining the 4 teams who win in the European Championship. So Magic Johnson had himself a whale of a game again tonight, and he's going to join us here at our broadcast table and talk with us a little bit about this game. And it's tough for Magic to get all the way over here because the photographers and the players are sharing their adulation to Irvin Johnson. But he will be here shortly. 119-81, 38-point win. You see us and Magic making his way in here right now as he high-fives the crowd, poses for a photograph. Magic, thank you for joining us. You've already had experience with these things this year. You've already had your experience with the headphones, so I'll let you handle that. Congratulations again, and the smile seems to never leave your lips since you've been out here in Portland.
No, it's just like being home, being away from home for a long time. Now I'm back on that hardwood. I'm back home again, and I feel comfortable and feel really good. Just being one of the boys again has been the ultimate dream and feeling, and also wearing this USA jersey.
It's been really clear, however, that you are the leader of this team, and this is something that doesn't just get announced. I mean, you have to have the peer respect to have that, and it's very evident when you're on the floor. Do you feel that kind of respect on this specific team?
I definitely do. They look to me for the leadership, and I try to, when we're not going like we, sometimes we don't get going, so we have to pick the defense up, and I say, let's pick up higher, or maybe we're not getting a good shot, so I had to slow us down and say, okay, Michael, somebody take over for 1 second, get us a good shot before we can get back into a flow or rhythm. So Michael and the guys look to me for that, and I try to provide that leadership.
Magic, one thing that really impresses me is you've played in so many all-star games. You've played in games with great talent before, but you guys are not turning the ball over. You're not trying to make this so spectacular play that the game is getting ragged. I think that's a real credit because in many instances when you play against inferior opponents, you try to juice it up too much and the game gets ugly. You guys have not done that at all.
Right. First of all, we don't want to disrespect anybody. Second of all, we know that we have to play within the team. And you're right, because when you try to do something for yourself or try to pump the fans up, it usually results in a turnover. And then you're not playing good basketball. And what we want to do, we want to play good basketball. And a lot of people have said, see, they thought we weren't going to be able to play together. Too many egos. We needed more basketball. But it hasn't been the case, and we've played together, and everybody's playing their role, and that's the key right now.
Magic, we got to relive that great Celtics-Laker championship series and your baby hook shot in the lane. And when you took the shot, I said on the air, thank you for showing us that again.
Well, the difference is, though, this is over Ortiz and Rivas, not Bird, McHale, and Parrish.
And it was for the championship, too.
Right.
Slight difference.
Yes, a slight difference in talent and a slight difference in the situation, too. We needed that. But, you know, I'm getting a chance to be out here again. And I tell you, this week has been the ultimate for me. It's just been great. It's just, I don't know what to say. You know, I'm so happy to be back playing.
I can't resist asking you this. You've got to be thinking, because your timing is so good, your conditioning is good, you're having so much fun about next year back in the league.
Well, of course, you know, it's run through my mind. And what I want to do after this is over, sit down with my wife, and we sit down and discuss it. Usually I make decisions by myself, but I have a wife now, so we had to sit down and discuss it. But things are going good right now, and hopefully if they continue, then, you know, the odds will probably switch in the favor of returning. But thank you, just guys, for having me on, and look forward to, you know, seeing you later.
Magic, I tell you, as a fan now, I could watch you play forever, and I pray that you'll be back out there again next year. You're the best.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks to all the fans, too, for your prayers and everything.
Irvin Magic Johnson and Team USA with the victory over Puerto Rico in the semifinals. They're on their way to Barcelona and the gold. We'll be right back.